The next critical document is the General Durable Power of Attorney. And this, again, is a document that applies on incapacity. And I'm just going to point out that most people, when they think of estate planning, they are thinking about planning for what happens when they die. And that is estate planning. And historically, that was it. That's all we did. We did wills and we did trusts. But in the last 50, 60 years or so, as more and more of us live a really long time because of all the medical advances we have, estate planners have also become very concerned about incapacity. So we do these powers of attorney, we do these healthcare directives. And I think that getting the incapacity part in place correctly is perhaps more important to you than getting the after-death stuff right. Because after your death, it's not your problem anymore. If it takes a long time to get things done, if your kids are having a hard time accessing your bank accounts and they have to fight with Wells Fargo, it's just time. But if you're incapacitated and your kids are having to fight with Wells Fargo to get access to your money, you need that money. You need them to be able to act for you quickly. And so these documents, the incapacity documents, I think need to really be well prepared and kept up to date, maybe even more so than the after-death kinds of documents. So I'm just going to put that out there. Now, the General Durable Power of Attorney is a document where you name somebody else who you are giving legal authority to act for you. And you're giving them authority to act, we call it a general power of attorney, so we're giving them very broad powers in most cases. We want them to be able to do anything you might need them to do, any legal or financial thing. So it could be something like you've become incapacitated and we need to pull money out of an IRA because there are bills to pay. We need to pull money out of an IRA. This person has the legal authority to do that for you. Remember, your IRAs are not in your trust. Maybe you don't remember that, but I'm reminding you now. So things like that, it could be something big and financial. It could be something very small. You're incapacitated and maybe now you don't need all the different streaming services that you subscribe to, right? You got Hulu, you got Netflix, you got Amazon. You don't need that right now, and you need someone who can call up or cancel those subscriptions, and they're in your name. That's an account that's in your name. You need someone who can do that. So the general power of attorney applies to financial assets, and I should be on the next screen because it applies to non-financial accounts, like utilities, like streaming services. Any kind of thing that only you can do, because something is in your name, this person can do for you. And we want them to have very broad powers, because we don't want anything slipping through the cracks. Does anybody have a guess as to what happens if we don't have those broad powers and we need them? We have to go to court. We call that a conservatorship. So if you're incapacitated and you have not dealt with this aspect, you have not designated somebody who has legal authority to do things for you, your family will have to go to court and do a conservatorship in order to get that legal power. And conservatorships, even in the best of circumstances, are not pretty. They're very expensive. They take a lot of legal time, hence they're expensive. And they are ongoing, and every couple of years you've got to go back to court and report back to the judge. Very expensive. You don't want that. And they take a long time. So with a power of attorney, your person, I'm going to say your child, this is just assuming most people name a child. Your child can step in right away with the power of attorney. They don't have to go to a judge. They don't have to serve notice on the whole family and wait 8 weeks or 12 weeks for a hearing date. They have this document they can get going right away. So I have a personal bias. I think taking a look at incapacity in your estate plan is very important, and really focusing on that and getting it right. One other thing I would say, so what we do, what lawyers do for you, is we write a general, durable power of attorney. So like I said, we're trying to cover everything. We're trying to make sure somebody in your family or in your circle has the power we need them to have. That doesn't mean that it's going to go smoothly. So banks in particular, various financial institutions, and I'm not going to name any of them, probably all of them, they can be very picky about the documents that they will honor. So if you are incapacitated, your child goes into your bank with your power of attorney, the bank is legally required to accept it as long as it's executed correctly, but they don't always. They will push back. I have had many, many clients have trouble with a financial institution. And so, you know, we can usually resolve it by, my client calls me and we say, okay, just give me the phone number and I'll talk to somebody. But that's time and that's legal fees that you shouldn't have to pay. We can usually resolve it. What I am telling all my clients nowadays is even if you have an estate plan and you have a general power of attorney that your attorney created for you, it's a good idea to go to your financial institutions and do their power of attorney. All the big institutions, they have their own form of power of attorney, and you just go and you fill it out, and that way, if the time ever comes that somebody needs to step in and manage things for you, they cannot reject the power of attorney because it's their form. You know, clearly you did it right, they cannot reject it. That's just kind of a belts and suspenders approach, which is what I tend to like to do. We don't want to leave any cracks at all in your estate plan, and I think this is a really good one. Next time you're in your bank, just ask them, do you have a power of attorney form? And you can take it home. You can even ask your attorney to help you fill it out. But that's my little kind of inside baseball tip for you.
If you need help with your estate planning or administration, we also offer a free discovery call to help get the process started. You can find more information on booking your session by visiting absolutetrustcounsel.com/scheduling.